We have a special guest on the line today. Minnesota Senator Bill Weber is going to talk to us a little bit about what's been going on so far in the legislative session and a bill that is going to be introduced to the legislation today, requesting some bonding money for Lewis and Clark. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm doing fine. It's going to be a beautiful day here in Worthington, so we're all pleased.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I heard the forecast is for a couple inches of snow tomorrow. I'll put it on your shoulders to keep that from happening.
Well, that's tomorrow. That is so far in the future. We're not worried about it. So, can you tell me a little bit about how the session has been going so far?
Well, it's a busy session. Being a shortened session, there is a lot of there are a lot of people that still want to talk to you and go over this issue, that's this program, that program, and so it's been a fairly hectic pace at this stage of the game. And now we're getting in our deadline is towards the end of this month for introduction of bills and what have you, and so there will be a lot of ramping up of different hearings and that, and so we're proceeding right along.
Can you tell me a little bit about this bill that's going to be introduced that is requesting bonding money for Lewis and Clark?
Yes, I have submitted a bill that will be introduced today, and it'll be introduced today, tomorrow on the House side as well by Representatives Hamilton and Schomacker, that basically asks for that amount of money that it would take to complete the Minnesota portion of the Lewis and Clark water pipeline. And this money would be advanced through bonding funds. And, at some point, as the feds release monies for this project, then the money would be paid back to the state of Minnesota. Last week, I had requested and received a half-hour personal visit with Senator Leroy Stumpf, who is the chair of the bonding committee, and we talked about this project. And I feel good that he understands this project and understands the necessity of it for Southwest Minnesota, and also slightly over $20 million has been included in the bonding request from the governor's office as well. So we're hopeful that we'll be able to get a usable portion of monies for this project. The one request that has been made to everyone at the state level is that, okay, here are our legs of the project, from the state line, Iowa state line to Laverne, from Laverne to the Lincoln Pipestone connection over by Adrian, and then the rest of the way into Worthington. And what we have been saying is, give us enough money to complete various legs. Don't leave us sit in the middle of a cornfield somewhere where we still can't get water out of it. So.
In the newsletter that you sent out, I think it was maybe on Friday, there was the number in there was for $69 million. Would that be enough to get that from the state line where it is now to Worthington?
That number, yes. That number came from the Lewis and Clark office itself.
Oh, okay. So that would do the trick. Have you talked to any of the other legislators up there about their feelings about this?
I have visited with the Republican representatives or senators on the bonding committee. They understand the project. They have some of them were, of course, along on the bonding tour last fall, whereby a presentation was made over at Jackson for the Lewis and Clark project at that time. And I think that I have. There are a number of senators who probably typically aren't real fond of the size of some of the bonding bills, but they certainly understand the issue here in Southwest Minnesota concerning water. And I think there's great support amongst them and amongst the leadership in my caucus to put this project through into the bonding bill. And will we get the entire $69 million? I guess that would probably be a surprise. But certainly we're going to fight to get as much of it as we possibly can and accomplish one or two legs of this project.
Well, I think there's a lot of people in Southwest Minnesota that appreciate your efforts on that, because that is something we've been needing for a long time. Is there any other bills coming up that you're particularly excited or interested in?
Well, I'm hoping that the Senate this week will take up some activity and action on the repealing of some of the business-to-business taxes that were put in place last year. I think it's really important for our economy, the equipment repair tax that affects our farmers and small businesses, the warehousing tax, I think, which could be a really detrimental thing here, even in terms of the propane issue, because we are going to have to do more storing of propane supplies, and once you have build the facilities and store them and maybe have pre-sold propane in them, all of a sudden all of those suppliers are paying warehouse tax, and we're just going to add to the cost of propane, which quite frankly we really don't need to do right now. And so the House has acted on it. The governor's office wants it. The Senate leadership seems to be dragging its feet somewhat. I'm not sure why, but I think the warehouse tax is scheduled to take effect April 1st. We really need to get moving and get that done, and I'm hopeful that it will. And we'll certainly continue trying to make that happen. My side of the aisle is ready to go on that issue. So.
All right. Again, we're talking to Minnesota Senator Bill Weber, who has been a couple weeks into the legislative session now. We're just kind of getting an update on him. Thanks for your time today, Senator Weber, and we hope to touch base with you almost maybe kind of weekly about what's going on up there.
Well, thank you. And also I should mention, too, that in committee today there will be a hearing on the monies that I had included in a bill last year for the Worthington Biotech Center. This was to restore some funds that actually had been allocated once before but had not been spent. And so we're going to see if we can't get the balance of that money for the Biotech Center for continued progress there.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that and keep everybody informed on what's going on with that. Thanks for your time today, Senator Weber, and we'll, like I said, we'll try to touch base with you in about a week.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, thanks.